Welcome viewers, Syndrome here with Breaking the Stream Gaming. Today I'm going to be starting up a different game than what I've done previously, hopping into Mechwarrior Mercenaries 5. Playing Planetfall as the Oathbound kind of got me in the mood for a little bit of mech-on-mech action, so here I am. Just a quick disclaimer here, I am not particularly good at Mechwarrior. So you're going to be seeing me typically boating weapons, using really no more than 2 weapon groups. Dogbog gives me a lot of flack for that, but you know what? It's just how my brain works. So I'm going to hop right in here to the campaign, starting up a new one. It turns out that this game saves your campaign locally, so unfortunately the campaign that I sunk so many hours into on my old computer is no longer in existence, so new campaign it is.
In 2108, humanity began colonizing the stars. Their reach would eventually span a vast region of space known as the Inner Sphere. During its golden age, under the governance of the Star League, the Inner Sphere experienced unprecedented peace, prosperity, and technological advancement. But with a great rise comes a great fall. Beset by greed and mistrust, humanity splintered. The Star League crumbled. Technological advancement slowed. The great houses, each vying for supremacy, turned on one another, engaging in a series of conflicts known as the Succession Wars. Amidst this chaos, mercenaries became the proxy forces for the great houses. Numerous battlefields sprung up across the Inner Sphere, dominated by hulking war machines known as battle mechs. The year is now 3015, and these steel behemoths have become the tools of the mercenaries' trade. It's a lucrative time, yet one beset with perils of all kinds. Only the most skilled and brave among them will rise to become legend.
Alright, I just wanted to let that introduction play in its entirety there. So Mechwarrior 5 is the 5th in a long series of games, going back, geez, I don't even remember how far. I remember that the very first computer that I owned, I had Mechwarrior 1 on it, and then later Mechwarrior 2. That was probably late 80s, early 90s. But the tabletop version actually goes back quite a bit longer than that, but you'd have to ask Todd Bog and Dogbog about that. They've been involved in that since they were real young. My involvement with the games started when I was probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 or so, back with the Battletech pods, which used to be in existence. I think that you can still visit those at cons and whatnot, but the glory days of them being in stationary locations, at least in Chicago, is long since past. So here we are. It's a bit of a tutorial, if I remember right. Basically, our father there is going to be piloting a Victor and showing us the ropes.
Come on, everyone's waiting. Get to the Centurion at the far end of the hangar and we'll get started.
Yeah, this is his mech, and that off in the distance is ours. And I would gladly, you know, get to it if they'd open the frickin' gate. So, Mechwarrior 5, unlike the other games in the series, actually utilizes a sort of a base system where you actually walk around and go to various parts of your dropship. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but they didn't just make you auto-run, so the base movement is pretty unfortunately slow. But it's a nifty little feature that had it been implemented just a little bit better, I think I would be more happy with. But they have an expansion coming out, I believe, in actually just a couple weeks here. So who knows? Maybe they'll fix that with that.
He spent months getting it operational again after we recovered it.
Here we have our
Factory
father
overhaul
here,
it too.
giving us a little bit of
What a bloody shit
foundational
Hopefully nothing
information,
explodes during the test, mate.
and the
I'm
most
very
annoying
confident you
mechanic
won't
in
need to
any
eject.
game that I've
No
experienced,
promises, though,
except
eh?
maybe for Mechwarrior Black Knight. That guy was pretty
He's
annoying too.
joking, I think. Go on and power her up.
Override engaged.
Okay, so there we go.
Online.
Fahad?
In fairness, I haven't played this game much in about a year or so. Pretty close to when it released, I think. So, commands and whatnot, I don't really remember all that well.
Tactical display up. Everything looks good to go.
Keep in mind there's parts on that mech that are at least 200 years old. So ease it forward slowly, and we'll see how it
Yes,
goes.
slowly,
And don't forget to
sure.
hit the brake once you're clear of the hangar.
Look at her go, eh? That's my girl. She's a beauty, isn't she?
So, if you haven't played any of the Mechwarrior games before, there are two modes of turning. There's the
Engage reverse throttle and navigate
torso
to the
twisting,
waypoint I've set up.
and there's
Use your
also
tactical display to see where you're going.
leg-based movement, which we don't currently have access to, but we'll gain
Nice
that
work.
later in this
Now
tutorial.
revert to your drone cam. Let's go ahead and do a left-right rotation test.
I like that they actually included a reasoning behind how we have this view. They said that it's a drone cam. In previous games, they never made any sort of mention of that.
Okay, now let's make sure the torso.
I never play in drone cam version. It's just, it's not as pure to me. I like being able to see the cockpit itself.
Good. As you can see, the torso rotates independently from the legs. Your direction of movement, therefore, may differ from the direction you're actually looking.
I'm always tempted. I'm always tempted.
If you check your tack screen, you can see your current leg orientation is represented by the dotted line, and your torso orientation is represented by the cone. Go ahead and try auto-aligning the torso with your legs. Excellent. Now move your torso to the left or right. Then try aligning your legs with the torso this time. Looking good. The mobility course is next.
I almost never align my legs with
Show
my
me how
torso.
fast you can
I
get
always do
through
it the
those
other way.
turns while still hitting each of the waypoints.
God, I'm in a Centurion. What is that, a medium mech? Ugh. Dogbog likes to pilot light mechs, and I think he's crazy for that.
Nice work. The Centurion was made to have a good balance between speed and firepower. All we have to do now is find out if the weapon systems work.
Just like every time, I just want to pull the trigger.
Boy, what do you mean if the weapons work? You know how long I've spent stripping each one of those components and putting them back together again? They'll bloody well work, mate.
Now, something else that I do that Dogbog gives me crap for is I usually lock my arms. So, as you can see, there are two cursors right there. There's the reticle and then the kind of crosshairs. The reticle there control is representative of my arm-based weapons, which give you a little bit more flexibility. The other one is where our torso is pointing. So if I lock them, they stay together, and I lose that upper aiming capability, so it makes dealing with helicopters a little bit more difficult. But given it lets me focus on certain areas of an enemy quite a bit better, so I think it's usually a good trade-off, especially since, you know, I can just flip back as needed.
Weapon systems are now online, gents. Be gentle, hey?
Always, my friend.
Yeah, right. That's a load of bollocks, isn't it?
All right.
Just give me
I've
my
mapped the
instructions, come
autocannon to
on.
weapon group 1. You're free to fire whenever you're ready. manage your reserves. You run out of shells in the middle of a firefight, it could be your last one.
He's not wrong.
Lasers are mapped to Weapon Group 2. Fire them when ready. Alright, that's good enough. Those lasers generate significant heat. You can see the temperature readout next to your
So,
armor
in
and
my
structure
opinion,
display.
the most
All
important
weapons
item
generate
you can
heat
come
when
across
fired.
in
You
Mechwarrior
overheat
5,
your mech during a firefight,
double heat sinks.
and it could trigger a shutdown, so
They
keep
make
that in
a
mind.
huge difference.
Now for the fun stuff. Long-range missiles are set to Weapon Group 3. The target lock has been disabled for the moment, but never mind that. Just go ahead and fire at will. Well, as you can see, LRMs don't track unless you have a target lock on something. Yep, they're as dumb as a post without it. Let's try targeting a drone first, and this time before you fire your LRMs. Makes a hell of a difference having that target lock, doesn't it? Next step is to test moving and firing at the same time. I've set up a series of aerial targets for you. Move through the aerial combat course as quickly
Alright,
as you can
finally
and shoot the
something
drones
a little
down.
bit more interesting.
I'll meet up with you on the other side.
Kind of.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Was I supposed to be able to get that one?
Target destroyed.
Now, me and my friends used to play Mechwarrior online quite a bit when it first came out. That one has kind of faded off our rotation the last couple years, I guess. Dogbog seems to think that it's old gameplay, but no, I think it's still fun once in a while, although it has been a bit since I've played. One of Todd Boggs' complaints about this game is that radar doesn't work 360 degrees, which it used to in previous games, if I remember correctly. But I think it adds a little bit more challenge to it. Although honestly, the big challenge of this game, outside of the story missions, actually even in the story missions, is just the sheer number of vehicles that you have to fight. It's not even the enemy mechs a lot of the time.
You should see them in the ravine below. Target the first one on your left. You can zoom in on the target for a more accurate shot.
Is this the one where he teaches about headshots? It is.
Targeting and telemetry seem to be working. Note the center torso on that first mech. It's reading heavily damaged. Destroying the CT will destroy the mech no matter its relative condition.
Dogbog is a big fan of going for headshots. I tend to use a lot of short-range missiles, which makes that a little bit difficult.
See that second mech? Both legs are heavily damaged.
So I do tend to
One
go
leg
for
destroyed. Mechs
left and
become
right
easy
torso
targets.
kills.
Both legs? It's over for them. Take out both legs.
Target acquired.
Nicely done. The cockpit on that third mech is seriously damaged. It's a difficult shot to make, especially in the chaos of battle. But the fastest way to take out a mech is to eliminate the pilot. Go ahead and try shooting the cockpit.
Target acquired.
He fails to mention that that kills the pilot, but I guess we are mercenaries. Like, I feel like these should be headshots here, but they're all hitting the center torso. Again, I'm not very good at this game, so bear with me. All of that is hitting the center torso. It's like, what am I supposed to be aiming at? You know, I wonder if I'm aiming too high on this one. Nope. That's... Oh, there it goes.
Now we're almost done.
Headshots are
Simulation I've set
finicky
up for
things
you
in
is
this
the
game.
last hurdle. Follow me. You're gonna go head to head with an urban mech. They're slow and poorly
An
armored.
urban mech.
Perfect for this
Oh.
particular test. Should be a piece of cake for a pilot like you.
Urban mechs get a bad rap, but I mean, it's always just a surprise when you come across one. Because why would you ever be in that? It's a tin can with legs. It's like R2-D2, but much less cool and much less useful. Although several tons heavier.
Target acquired.
As I get rocked by it.
Yeah, nice work. I think we can call it a day. The Centurion seems fully fit and ready for battle. Let's head back.
Yes, surely nothing bad will happen on our way back to camp.
When we get back to the base, we'll buy Fahad a few beers to say thanks. Yeah, of course, we'll have to listen to him gripe about how rough we are on his battle mechs. Small price to pay, I suppose, for having one of the best mechanics in the entire Inner Sphere.
Captain Mason, my sensors are showing multiple dropships inbound on our location.
Whatever will we do?
I'm showing over a dozen bogies. Captain, I think we're under attack.
You think?
Come on, let's go. We need to get back to the base.
I hate the Victor. I think it looks dumb. And looks are about 60% of what I look for in my mechs. Was that a commando? Gee, a king crab and a commando.
Get to the
Which one
base
I'll be
now.
fighting?
I'm gonna try and draw them off. By yourself? We can fight them together. No. From what Rihanna says, there's too many of them.
I'm fairly sure they use the same voice actor for the father and the son here.
Up with you. Now go.
Commander, the base is under heavy bombardment. I've ordered a full evac. You need to hurry.
Yeah, copy that.
I didn't need that arm anyway.
We know you have them. Give them to us, and your family is safe.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Who are you?
That commando is just so out of place.
Seriously.
I think that's is that a bushwhacker or a hunchback? I think that's a hunchback. So you've got a medium mech and a 100-ton assault mech, and then like a 25-ton commando.
You've done your research, I see. But you're too late.
So those assault copters there, whatever they're called, are probably the highest priority target in any mission. They will mess you up.
Hold on, Commander. I'm getting us out of here.
Did that commando just shoot his ally in the back? Light mechs. What are you gonna do? That seems about right. You don't want to let a hunchback get that close to you. They tend to be short-range brawlers. I mean, now that's just cruel. I hate king crabs. I think they're... I would rather take an 80-ton mech than a 100-ton king crab. Okay, and that was the tutorial to Mechwarrior 5.
Commander, sorry to wake you, but our sitrep has changed. Head to the bridge as soon as possible.
I think that I will call this video here and pick it up again next time when I start on my Mercenary campaign. Thanks for viewing, and take care.